I love it when certain Trump supporters say that black people have more rights than them. And these are white people. And I'm like,
Mhm.
can you list off the rights? Because I would love to know what I
Yeah,
have access to
name.
that you don't
Literally
have.
name half of one. I don't even need you to name a full one. Give me half.
And so they'll say, well, you have better opportunities. And I'm like, you know what? You might be right, because I live in an urban area that will give me a little bit better opportunities, and you live in a rural area, but I'm not the cause of that. What's the cause of that is all of these Republicans who are cutting down these programs that a Democratic president had instituted to help you. I'm
Yeah.
not the detriment to you. The people that you're voting for are the detriment to you. They're the
Or
ones
in
that's
other
cutting these programs.
words, you are
voting
the
against
detriment to
Yep.
you.
Yep. You're voting against yourself. So the control and prevention of crime and delinquency, this was aimed at reducing crime rates and preventing juvenile delinquency, taking them kids that's out there on the streets that dropped out of school, taking their ass right back to school. Go in there and learn your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s so that you could go out here and make some money, make a living honestly, instead of having to rob and kill and shoot for the dollar bill. Now, I just made up that just now, and I think it sounds good.
And we're not saying that those things aren't cool and that they don't look cool and they got all the money and the Cadillacs
Time
and
out.
all of that.
We are saying those things are not cool.
Oh, we're still on the air?
Yeah. All right. Okay. And the last thing that he did was the removal of obstacles to the right to vote. This was aimed at ensuring all citizens, regardless of their race or ethnicity, had the right to vote. Because remember, there was a whole thing where they were denying black people the right to vote. Right.
Sure were.
And I know some people out there actually wish that would be the case. And I do wish there was a competency test. Are you smart enough? Do you understand what's going on before you vote?
Right.
But then again, we can't do that. Everybody should have a right to vote. These programs.
Everybody, even if you committed a crime.
Okay, here we go. Now, here's the kicker, because Byron Donald said that the black family has gone down by leaning in the Democrats and based off of Lyndon Baines Johnson's policies, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the basis of his argument. Here's the catch. These programs expanded under the administrations of Republican presidents, Richard Nixon and Gerald Ford. Many of these programs, including Medicare, Medicaid, the Older Americans Act, and federal education funding, continue today. So his argument was that black people was better off when they were in Jim Crow and they wasn't voting for Democrats, and they weren't getting these programs that Lyndon Baines Johnson was instituted. What he failed to mention is that the preceding Republican presidents expanded upon those programs. It was not until Reagan came along that they started cutting these programs, because even Nixon and Gerald Ford agreed, hey, get people educated, get people jobs. That's going to help reduce crime, get people good health care, make sure they're healthy so that they can work to boost their economy. It all works out.
Yeah.
The economy does need workers, and we do need plumbers, electricians, car mechanics. We do need these things.
Yes.
So basically, Byron Donalds is an idiot. That's the reason why I call him Uncle Clarence, because I don't know what his point was. The black family is not better under Republican president. They weren't that far off with Nixon and Gerald Ford, because they still continued the programs.
Right.
It started with Reagan eliminating these programs. So if he wants to talk about them Republican presidents, okay, we can talk about that Republican president. But Bush W and Herbert Walker did not reduce Medicare and Medicaid. Now, some of these other programs, they did. But
they knew that one day they too would get old.
Right.
They knew that one day they too would get old. Now, they wouldn't necessarily need Medicaid, which is why there are so many states, mostly here in the South, that refuse to expand Medicaid, even though the federal funding is there for them to do it. So they don't care as much about Medicaid, but because Medicaid is for what? For poor people. Right.
If you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notifications button when you do subscribe so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page where you can find our Talking Straight-ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/Unsolicited Perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.